The first day we were shooting on Death Stranding 2, there's this line where we see in this trailer where Higgs says, "Same as it ever was." To me, I just saw that line and I was like, well, that's Talking Heads. So of course I had to go, "Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was." I was like, "You're not going to keep that." Next thing I hear is, "Aikoto, best." And I was like, here we go.
Welcome to the Death Stranding Games Club. You can't, I guess, come back to something you've never been to before. This is the Death Stranding 2 on the Beach Games Club here at Super NPC Radio in quarter 3, 2025? This is crazy, folks. Things are already so wild. I'm one of your hosts for this series, Connor McCabe, really excited to bring you our dive into Hideo Kojima's latest absolute mess of a masterpiece. Who knows? I'm only 3 chapters in. I don't know what it's really like. If you're listening to this podcast on the Patreon as it airs, thank you so much for your support. Hop in the Discord. Let us know what you think about this series. Hop in that Games Club Super NPC channel and chat along with us as we go through this game chapter by chapter. If you're listening to this on the free feed as we release these previews a week after this first episode comes out, thank you as well for listening. Consider checking out our Legacy Games Club feed at Super NPC Games Club, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're listening there, I don't know, 11 months in the future, whenever this is going to come out, thank you as well. If you'd like to find out whatever current crap we got going on the Patreon and what game we're covering in this format, go to patreon.com/supernpcradio and you are sure to find something at that DJ Toad tier. That's it for the housekeeping. I'm going to go ahead and just start to introduce the panel. And as has for some reason been tradition this year, we do have yet another new entrant to the Games Club contributor group. Please welcome our newest porter, fan favorite of the network, Matt Apodaca.
What's up?
Wow, we got a what's up, dude. Please tell me we're going to have more 90s references on this series.
I think it's time it comes back. I think what's up is back.
I mean, to be fair, have we ever needed it more than now? I would say probably not.
In these times, we need what's up now more than ever.
Yes, we do. Matt, I'm so excited to have you here on the series.
I'm excited to be here, and I'm just putting it out there. I'm going to be on my best behavior, Jeremy.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so this is so fun. So some of a lot of the listeners are like, wait, have they been texting about this before? Have there been shots fired already? The answer is yes, listeners.
I've been shot and knifed in the fucking back by Jeremy.
Yeah, you've been shot by rubber bullets. I have used my rope to tie you up, whatever the rope's called in this game.
The strand, my dear.
The Death Stranding.
Just the name of the fucking game.
Strand, dude. It's Strand. Pick up the cover of your game and look at it.
Yeah. I can see how it's confusing, though.
Is it? Are you sure it's not string? Maybe it's string.
Death Stringing?
Fucking idiot.
We have a wonderful panel for you here on this series. We've got the full group here today. Who's to say who's going to be on each episode? We're also welcomed by Charlie Mihelich.
Hello, Connor. Fan least favorite here. Excited to be on the show.
What a dream. I've also heard rumor that July Diaz is here. July?
Hey, I'm happy to be back. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, nice.
Gorgeous.
All back.
Nick Costanza?
Repatriating. Returning to the Games
What
Club.
the
That's pretty good.
Yeah, the repatriate. I get it. No, but for Nick, it's a patriate because he's such a patriot of this country. Isn't that
Sir,
true, Nick?
yes, sir.
That's a crisp salute. Yeah.
That is.
Just like our country, this Games Club is born on the 4th of July.
We are.
By the way,
to be
July,
fair,
happy birthday.
Thank you. I was waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, July,
Imagine
happy
this
birthday.
country trying to build the UCA. I'm saying, never.
I kind of wish they would.
Ever.
It seems better.
If there was time fall in this country, they would tell us it's good for us and that
Yeah.
it's actually not a problem. our final panelist.
Die Hardman, a big Democrat, by the way.
Die Hardman.
The worst president. He wears
Bridget
masks.
Strand,
Okay, we got 3 Trump impressions.
the
Can we
worst
get more?
president we've ever had.
July, do you want to try your hand at a
Beautiful.
Trump?
Her daughter looks just like her.
Let's
Nick,
see.
now try it as Trump.
Yeah, that was. I don't know who that was.
Jeremy
but-
Schmidt, I hate to break it to you, but you're also here.
Oh man, I'm walking by a sign left by Matt Apodaca that says "Was up," and I'm liking it.
Hell
Hey.
yeah.
I'm liking that sign.
Okay.
Also, hey guys, what do you think about our like initial first impressions and opening of this episode being video games, a comedy show this week? What do you think of like that part of it? Do you guys think that's a good idea? I think it's a good idea. We do like the first part, and then like once we get into the walkthrough of it, that's when it cuts off.
Jeremy, you do whatever you want, baby.
Yeah.
Go
That-
off, King.
Does that sound good to everybody?
I'm fine with
Do I
it.
have
What's-
everyone's
what-
consent
what
to
is
put this on a
happening?
free feed?
Oh, sure. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Take out the
yes,
part
yes.
where
Okay.
Matt made fun of my Trump impression.
Oh no, I can't edit anything, including this conversation.
We're going to loop that in 3 times, actually.
The listener needs to know.
Take
lot
out
of
me
people
saying
say
fan
it's
least
good.
favorite and replace it with Connor saying fan favorite in front of every one of our names.
Yeah, it's only fair. It's
a good
I didn't
idea.
ask for this. I didn't ask to be beloved.
I'm putting
All
a lot-
right, well, in that case, welcome to Video Games, a Comedy Show, everybody.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow, lucky to be here.
and I have
First
to.
time.
I have to shift my approach to the podcast now.
Yeah, it's interesting I just want to point out how it's interesting real quick because we got texts the other day that Jeremy was like, I have to leave early, so no hijinks. So I get
Yeah.
fucking thrown under the bus, right? He's like, Matt, no hijinks. And I'm just sort of like, okay, I'm going to be good. Now it turns out I'm doing a second show. And it's just interesting that it's sort of taking priority while Jeremy's here. And then when he leaves, it's like, now just kind of do whatever the fuck you want after that. It's just interesting.
Yeah, I agree that that's interesting, but I think it's interesting in a good way.
Yeah.
And I'm recalibrating
I didn't say it was a bad.
too.
Yeah.
If this is Video Games, a comedy show, I have a hard out at the 4-hour mark.
That's good. That's very funny.
What if I just didn't say anything the rest of the podcast? I just sat here and seethed. Matt, you're getting already like a really good like look into how I operate on most of these episodes where I'm just looking at the camera like this, just waiting for everyone to stop talking.
And I use
Yeah.
this portion of the podcast to upload it to the Reactivators feed, please.
Oh, really? You want to do that?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, listen to the trial Matt Apodaca episode.
Yeah.
Well, excited to be here.
Thank
Actually
you,
cut
Jeremy. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This may come as something that is understood by a lot of listeners, but we did cover the first Death Stranding, nay, but 3 games clubs ago. To close out the year 2024, we, set ourselves up. We had an election called the Baby Games election, where most of the games that were nominated were like, easy games, 3D platformers, games starring, children, like Ocarina of Time. And the game that we threw in there as a bit was Death Stranding because of Lou the baby being such, a prominent figure. And it won. We covered it. And this crew fell in love with it. 4 of us from this group right now, we're on the panel. July, Nick, Jeremy, and myself. But we have 2 big Death Stranding fans in Charlie and Matt that it's going to be really fun to, actually cover this second game, which feels strange because this game has been out for nay but 8 days at this point. So it's brand new. We're figuring this out as we go. But if you want to listen to the Death Stranding Games Club, it's not on the free fee yet. That will be. It's actually a couple games clubs away from airing, but it's on our Patreon. And if you're listening to this in the free feed in the future, then this doesn't even apply. Don't worry about it. First things first, I want to go over our history. Mostly, I want to start with Matt and Charlie here because the July, Nick, Jeremy, and I have gotten to talk about this before. But I want to hear their brief history of their time with Hideo Kojima's titles and then Death Stranding in particular before we jump into what we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about that. We're going to set the table for the events of Death Stranding as quickly as we can and probably miss most of the details. And today on this episode, we're covering the prologue, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. But let's go ahead and get started here. Charlie, I'll turn to you first. Give me a brief synopsis of your history with Kojima's titles and Death Stranding, most importantly.
So, I have a great respect for Hideo Kojima, but I have never beaten a Metal Gear. Yeah.
Not even 5? Your favorite?
I have played 5, but at a certain point, I was like so deep in like base development and got to the point where like every mission that I was doing, I was not really progressing. And then I just would fall off. I'd play these games for like 30 hours or something, and then I'd just be like, I don't know where to go from here or whatever. And then with the other Metal Gear games, I always had a really hard time with the controls. The controls were the biggest thing where I was like, oh, I really like all the vibes of what's going on. It feels very difficult for me to do all the cool stuff that I'm supposed to be doing in these games.
Would it help to know that the control stick moves the character around?
So already I'm learning things. I think that would have helped tremendously.
Yeah, would it also help to know you don't have to put the control stick in your mouth the whole time?
So again, it's like, this is why I'm on this games club, because when I was coming into this, I was like, I'm going to tell them nothing really happened in Death Stranding 2 so far, because
my controller's soaked though.
Yeah. Yeah, stick drift.
It's my favorite drink.
I did
It's my favorite drink.
Yeah, stick drift.
Yeah.
I see.
Rubber flavor. With real rubber flavoring. Anyway, I did play and beat Death Stranding 1. I actually started playing Death Stranding for the very first time election night 2020.
Oh my gosh.
As things were going the way that they were going, and I was like, I got to turn this off. And my girlfriend, now wife, she...
And you were pissed at the result.
Yeah.
Of the 2020 election.
Election night. I was
Strand winning.
Yeah. Worst president we've ever had. Anyway, so I started playing it, and it definitely was like the idea of uniting and bringing the country back together. Really spoke to me. And then later, I think I fell off the game a couple weeks later, and then a couple years later, I did the director's cut on PS5. And played the hell out of it, beat it, and just really loved it. So that's me. Yeah, I would really love to play and beat a Metal Gear. I think that's one of my goals.
I say do the first one.
What?
Do the first one.
Okay.
You can do it.
Yeah.
And just remember, control out of your mouth.
I need you guys to kind of guide me.
We'll help you out when the time comes.
Send me a reminder every once in a while.
Charlie, thank you for the little synopsis there. Appreciate that. Matt, give us the goods, baby.
Here come the goods. So I love Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I think it's in my top 3 favorite video games of all time, just behind Kingdom Hearts 2 and Pokemon Gold.
The Holy Trinity.
Honestly, the Holy Trinity.
Do you need to say Pokemon Go?
No.
To the polls.
Actually, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I didn't say that at all.
Nick, funny ones on this. Do funny ones.
Yeah, we're in Video Games, a comedy show.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Matt just quits.
It's tough, isn't it, Matt?
What do you mean?
It's tough to talk. To get
It's hard. It's hard to talk when
I disagree. I think it's easy.
it's just interesting that I have something to say and everybody else wants to say something. I'm just not used to it, I guess. But I guess this is what my own medicine tastes like, doesn't it?
Hey, Jinkies.
Tastes like a stick drift.
Takes like a fucking stick drift, rubber real rubber flavor in it. So I was when I was a kid, my uncle was very into Metal Gear, and I would watch him play Metal Gear. So I experienced like an entire playthrough of the very first one, and I didn't play the second one until a couple of years ago, actually, and had only ever I had my first one that I ever actually played was Snake Eater. And I played through that on PlayStation 2, and it was like in a phase where I was started to get into what I like to call like real video games, and like instead of like video games based on movies I had just seen, like I was
Bible Quest,
Bible Quest, like the Shrek 2 video game, honestly, like
That was a
just
good
like
one.
which is actually pretty good. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the video game of the movie.
that's pretty good.
That's a good video game. But I had got Snake Eater at Hollywood Video in the bargain bin, and I bought it, and I was having a hard time with it because I'd never played a game like that before. And then I was stuck on the boss.
Oh my god, yeah.
And put it down for a while. And I was like, you know what? Time to get back into Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. And this was months later. And I start the game up, and
He
he's
dies?
fucking dead.
Yeah.
Because you can do that if you just like wait a week, or you set the internal clock a week ahead while you're playing it. He just dies of old age, which is insane. So that was my first brush with like, oh, this guy who makes these games is a strange man. And he's an unusual fellow, this Hideo Kojima. So I've played on, I guess I'll just say on Get Played, we've done theme months of just diving deep into Hideo Kojima's works. So I've experienced quite a few of his games at this point. I've played Snatcher, I've played Police Knots, and Snatcher is, I think, great. Snatcher is really, really cool. Police Knots is less good. It has weird stuff in it. But all his games have weird stuff in it. But Police Knots, I think, I would say borderline problematic.
Yeah. There's like the airplane. I just remember the airplane stuff with
It's
the
pretty tough.
stewardess. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty tough stuff to contend with in that one. But Snatcher is really cool. And I've played a little bit of Boktai, the Game Boy Advance game that you have to play in direct sunlight.
Cool.
Which if you're playing on a Game Boy Advance, kind of tough because you can't really see then the screen. No. But it's an interesting game. And I've played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 4, a game that I've honestly thought about. I have my PlayStation 3 just like right here. Like I'm like I should plug this in and actually play Metal Gear Solid 4 at some point.
Do it.
And I've bounced off of 5 a lot of times, but Sean Diston harangues me for it. He's a big Metal Gear Solid 5 guy, and it's like you have to do it. And then so when Death Stranding came out, I was already interested in it and was like, I got to see what's going on with this. And it took me a while to get into, but there's sort of like a point within the first one where you kind of like submit to it kind of, and you're just sort of like, okay, I think I have to see what else is going on in here and finish the actual story of this game. And I was just extremely compelled by it, and I think it's like a work of, I mean, all of his games are a work of genius, but that one in particular I think is like his maybe creative peak, because it's very singular, right? So this, before the second one comes out, there's nothing like it, and you're sort of just like, how do I even play this? How do I do any of this? So you're just like, you're having a completely new experience. You're experiencing a brand new world, a brand new story, and just like a new way to play a video game. So then the second one comes out now, and like I don't want speak too much about it at this point, but iterates on.
Been talking for so long.
I have a lot to say.
I like it.
And
I'm compelled by what Matt's saying.
I also just find it interesting that I was a brat.
You're in the
about
zone
people.
of interest.
I was in the zone of interest, something we were talking about before.
Oh yeah, I forgot we weren't.
But I will say that like this one, I think obviously iterates on that one and is very much a direct sequel and is more fun immediately. Like whereas like you sort of have to earn the fun in the first one, and this one is like, let's just start you off with like a little bit of juice. And so I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah, I Connor, I don't know if this is okay, but like we don't have to. Obviously, everyone can listen to that old games club of what we think, but I do think we can go around and quickly talk about like a little bit of our post-mortem on that games club, and then like maybe some initial first impressions of this game.
Ooh,
just
I
like,
love that.
Yeah, because Matt just kind of jumped into it, and I think it's a perfect time to dovetail. So do you want to kick us off with that? Like, how have you been feeling since that games club ended, and then how did you feel going into this, and what are your first initial thoughts?
Absolutely. I think like the four of us who ended up finishing out that games club last year, I was completely captured by it. And I in the years before that was sort of a late adopter of enjoying the Metal Gear series, and that's really all I had experienced from Kojima. So I was pilled. We did the Metal Gear Solid Games Club, totally different format in 2022 where we covered 8 games in the series, more so like an overview episode on 8 of the games as opposed to a chapter by chapter deep dive. And because I was forced to play like 5 games in the series that year, I absolutely fell in love. So coming into Death Stranding, I was primed for it, and leaving that game, I couldn't believe how much I loved it. I'm still contemplating if that game is one of my favorites of all time because I think it compelled me that much, and I thought Matt put it in a great way of just how it was such a distinct work of art by Kojima and something that is as unique of a game as I think you could experience at the time, and which is funny now, sort of like not having to. We played that game so recently. We were playing that 8 months ago is when we finished it. So it's not like we played it when it came out and we've taken a ton of time off and are having to essentially learn how to ride a bike again. All of the basic mechanics were familiar. So jumping into this title felt pretty seamless for me. And but I will say I have still noticed in the early goings of this game that I am still quite particular and like cautious on how I'm doing stuff. Certain things have changed where I'm more open to just grabbing kind of anything and filling up my capacity, my carrying capacity as Sam, as opposed to being a little too cautious about that. Mm-hmm. But I will say that I've just been struck how I am kind of approaching the game in the same way that I was before, despite knowing, with iterations aside, how this thing operates. I'm already captured. I'm already in. I currently am into chapter 3, so a little farther than we are now, but there's so much that I have yet to experience that I have just heard little rumblings about. So I'm pumped. I'm excited. And I can't believe it's good to be back in this like devastating of a world.
Can't believe it's good to be back.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's how I'm feeling coming into this. July, what about you?
Yeah, I absolutely adored the first game. Just jumping off what Matt was saying, it was very much a singular type of game that I've never experienced before, which is really awesome to experience. And also, I don't know exactly where a sequel would have fit in, but starting this, where it starts off at, it's very sweet, and the relationship between Sam and Lou is very heartwarming. But then, of course, we'll get into it. What happens is very tragic, and I think I pretty much was able to figure out all the mechanics. It all seemed very familiar. There was like some new quality of life changes, which were pretty helpful for me. Like, for example, the container spray. You don't have to drop all your cargo now. You can just pick it up. You can just pull it out and just spray it on your bag. I'm like, yes, thank you so much.
July. I want to jump in really quick just to say that I had heard about some of the quality of life improvements, and I was almost not put off, but I was like, I was hesitant. I was like, I kind of like that the game makes you.
I like that it sucks.
Take each step. Yeah, I like that it's mean.
Because it sort of mirrors real life.
Oh, exactly. But so when I heard just that there were general things like that, I was like, oh man, am I gonna like that? But that was the thing. That was the aspect, July, when I first took all of my crap off my back to spray it on the ground, and then he aimed towards his back. That I was like, actually, this is good, and I'm glad this is in the game.
Yeah.
For me, it was taking your entire pack off at a timefall shelter in order to you can just hold triangle and take the whole thing off and then go kill the BTs and come back. I was like, oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
thank goodness.
For
So
me, it was
cool.
being able to go to the toilet and the shower at the same time.
Yes.
Now that's
Nick.
real life,
Wow.
baby.
And that's
Yes,
real life.
Nick.
Yeah, I want my house to be like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
July, I'm sorry to interrupt you, dude.
No. That was about it. What I was gonna say, just as like the summation, bringing us from my experience from the first game to this one. I think, I've also played a little bit of Chapter 3, and a lot of the game opens up, and so I can't wait to continue to play more. And
I was thinking about playing ahead, but then I was worried that I'd play too much and miss work and end up having to file Chapter 11.
Wow. Was that a joke?
sort of
Never know. You never know.
sort of a mirror.
Mirrors real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hideo Kojima makes you file bankruptcy in real life.
Yeah.
He makes you do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love that aspect of the game. Nick, what
Switch
about you,
controller ports to file bankruptcy.
One last thing. I love whatever this glove thing is on Fragile. Whatever the hell that is.
Oh,
yeah.
Or like glove
the
collar?
yeah,
glove
the glove
necklace.
collar. Yeah. Love
Oh,
that.
that is cool. Why is the skin fixed?
Oh yeah, I had a question about that, but we'll get
What
into
if
it.
Sam was just like, how'd your skin get fixed?
I miss your old lady buddy. That should have been
Okay.
If I had a glove collar, mine would just go and make glasses as if my eyes were coming out of my head and seeing a pretty lady a lot. That's all it would do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'd wear
cool.
mine on my belt.
Nick, what about you,
Why,
buddy?
Matt?
Tell us about coming into
Don't
this.
worry about it.
Well, like Matt, I also was not much of a Kojima gamer until the last few years. I had started Death Stranding ahead of the recording for Reactivators Episode 3 with Milan Patel. But at the time in 2020, I was still a delivery dispatcher, and it was also pre-vaccine, heavy lockdown, and it all just hit a little too close to home for me. It was like
Sort of like a mirror.
it was sort of like a mirror, like a black mirror almost.
Oh no,
And-
that's too scary. Don't say
That's
that.
frightening.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, guys. But
Banjo
then
Arrow.
later in the
It's a mirror you can fit in your pocket.
it is hard to talk on this show, huh? It is. I'm finally seeing it from another
You just got to keep
angle.
going.
I
It's like
actually
a
find it's
mirror.
it's easy if you have good things to say.
Okay. Hey Matt, you're coming for me this episode. So anyway, I picked the game up again after playing Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty for the first time, which I did for a Games Club one-off, and I had a blast with it. And I also had shared concerns that the controls would be a little difficult. They were, but then going back to Death Stranding and getting to play through it on our Games Club, I also I just fell madly in love with this thing. I remembered a friend telling me that it was weirdly soothing when he first played it, and that was the exact sensation I experienced. Just there's something very pleasant about delivering the packages, even though the world is so dreary. So I was really excited for this new one, and I'm still excited. I'm having a blast.
Killer.
You liking it so far?
Yeah. Now, I put a few years between my delivery days, and now it's just kind of a fond memory. It's not too close to home anymore.
Love that.
Right, guys?
It's like a mirror in the other room for you.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
mirror that I'm not looking at.
It's like a funhouse mirror, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not present around it. so it might be distorting my image, but I'm not looking at it.
It's like a two-way mirror, kind of.
Oh,
and you're on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly it.
You ever think about putting a mirror in your toilet and making a brown mirror?
Huh?
Do I ever think about that? Of course.
Connor goes, huh?
My brain couldn't do that. My brain couldn't
That
do
was
the math
that was
that
shocking.
fast.
Black mirror.
Jeremy, why don't you go
brown.
ahead?
Yeah. I came out of that games club playing that first Death Stranding game, and I think I was like everybody, very charmed and overwhelmed and taken with the world of it and the story and the characters of it. But unfortunately, like I didn't leave feeling the same way that it sounds like everybody else did, of feeling like, oh, this game was my favorite game of all time. And it was so, like, I just got so sick of it by the end of like doing I'm in the snow and I'm losing all my crap and I'm falling all the way down. And I think part of that is playing it for a games club, like that kind of like when I have to do homework and I have to get through it, and then I'm getting caught, like my guy's getting caught on the edge of rocks and stuff, and I'm like, yeah. So anyways, I just felt like it wasn't fun to play that game after a number of hours. So starting Death Stranding 2, I was excited that we were doing this, but I'm not gonna lie, I was like dreading turning it on for the first time and knowing that I was going to have to go back into this world and do these orders and walk on my feet through the desert or whatever, and like probably not get a vehicle right away and stuff. So I had all these preconceived ideas of what it was going to feel like to go back. But it's so weird. I'm like kind of really happy to report that like getting into Death Stranding 2 on the beach is like, I remembered how to do everything immediately. So it was like muscle memory coming back. It did feel like I was like putting on like comfortable shoes or something. It was like weird. I like slipped into a
transporter boots.
Yeah, like a really, some good, yes, exactly. I slipped into like a really great rhythm with it right away. It felt good to be back. It felt fun. I'm going to attribute like all of that to probably a lot of lessons Kojima learned between the first game and this game of like onboarding. Like my first impressions of this game is that like he feels very unencumbered by like having to explain everything to you, because that's already kind of been done through the first game. So we're jumping in right away. These initial cutscenes were like exactly paced exactly right, and it didn't overstay its welcome, and things weren't, there wasn't so much dialogue and heavy-handedness, and I was jumping in right away, and I was playing sooner than I thought I was going to be playing this game. Like, all the quality of life stuff feels good. It looks incredible. And so I think I'm just really impressed with it so far, and I'm like thinking about it when I'm not playing it, which is like that's all you can ask for. So yeah, I'm a little like I'm a little confused because I thought this was going to be hard, but it's actually
sounds like
fun and easy.
Jeremy, you like dated someone before. It was like kind of good, but like there were things that just didn't work for you, and then you kind of like they came back into your life a couple years later, and you're like, wow, they're different than I remember.
Yeah, like I had a lot of things to say about his storytelling by the end of that first game, I'm so far, and again, like I'm in the middle of chapter 3 too, like a lot of people here on this show, and so far I'm like, this is good. If we're staying in this zone of interest, we're in good shape, Like I don't know, maybe it gets crazier and more, verbose or something from here. But yeah. But who knows? Maybe it'll have earned it, by the time we get to some of the more verbose stuff. I don't know. I'm having a good time with it right now. So I'm all good vibes from me.
Question for the panel: did anybody look at the recap of the first game?
I skipped it.
I looked at it.
Oh,
I looked at it too. What'd you think, Matt?
I thought, well, because I've just spent so much time talking and thinking about the first Death Stranding, so like some of it was good to have like a bit of a refresher, honestly, but I could see that being unhelpful if you have not played the first game, because it doesn't really it doesn't really set you up, I think, to know exactly what's going on. It gives you like the broad strokes of the first game, but not doesn't really. I don't think it was helpful in a meaningful way.
I'm really glad you said that because I have had several friends who know that I played the first game asking me if they should get the second game, and they haven't played the first one.
Yeah.
And what I've been telling them is that there is a recap, which I think it's like 15 slides that you kind of click through, and Deadman narrates it.
Yeah.
And it does more or less tell the broad strokes of the world and the story. But if you think about the first game, so much of the actual story is revealed right at the end that I just think it would benefit anybody who's listening. Play the first one before playing the second one. And I'd probably recommend playing the first one before even listening to this, because we're going to go into like everything.
Yeah, I would.
Or at least watch a YouTube cutscene.
I was going to say,
of it. Yeah.
There's got to be like a 40-minute, like very detailed, like summary. Even you don't have to watch like the entirety of the game, which there's like some good stuff if you want to understand. Like, I don't know, there's like characters from the first game that then appear in this one that the emotional beats of like even seeing those characters again aren't going to hit for you, which is maybe fine if you don't care, you kind of just want to play the game. But if you want to understand the story and the world, you definitely got to just do minimum 1 hour of homework before you can start the new one. And then watch the slides.
I cried when Alex Weatherstone showed up from the observatory.
Hey, it's me again.
It's me. I don't know if you remember me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that generic NPC guy. I remember you.
Yeah.
I remember.
I remember when he pops up thinking, why would I have remembered you?
Yeah.
You're not Conan.
Oh, no, he's not. He's
we
not.
did not
Conan.
see another special appearance by Conan O'Brien in those credits. So, yeah.
Char, you kind of gave a recap of your time with the first game and a little Kojima history. Did you want to give a first impression of this title before we dive in?
Yeah, absolutely. I found myself, very, like everyone else said, very comfortable to be back in this world. Knew everything right away. I was very pleasantly surprised by the end of Chapter 2 and what I think is going to blow out the world significantly for the future, because I was a little like, okay, I'm just doing the same thing I did in the first game, but in Mexico. And as much as I liked the cutscenes and I liked the character development and even the combat encounters, especially towards the end of Chapter 1, where you're heading back home and the robots show up, I was like, okay, I'm just like a less powerful version of who I was at the end of the first game, because you have the exosuit and the robots that trail behind you and they, all that stuff. So I was like, this is just the sequel thing where they take away everything that you got good at. And also when it was like, you've connected 3 stations, and they were like, well, you've connected all of Mexico. Congratulations. I was like, the whole first game was the entire United States, and now I'm done with Mexico.
Yeah, that was
so
funny.
I think I did have that. I mean, I the new stuff, like the natural disasters, like the time quakes and stuff like that, like some of the new things that they put in there, plus that first thing where you go through and you have to use the grenades on the BTs, like, still stuff that I remember for the first one, but that it feels better to do this time. It feels like it's been tweaked just enough that those are significantly less frustrating encounters. And then when the end of Chapter 2 happened, I'm like, okay, now we're getting into like what makes this a sequel. And that was like 4 hours for me to do Chapter 1 and 2. So
yeah, and I maybe spent like 6 hours in the first 2 chapters, just also kind of being thorough, but we'll get into that. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah. Let's do it, folks. Let's get into the prologue of this video game.
Are we saying bye to Video Games a Comedy Show now?
Oh my gosh, are we saying bye?
Oh, are we? Yeah, goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Buy Video Games the
Okay,
Comedy
they're
Show
gone
and buy
now.
Reactivators too. Also,
Roast of Sonic, Roast of Donkey Kong.
Mhm.
Was it
Yeah,
episodes of
yeah,
Video
yeah,
Games,
yeah.
a Comedy Show.
Maybe
Guys.
I'll leave the prologue in.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Guys, they're gone. We can do whatever we want. We can say whatever we want too.
They might
Ass.
still be here. They might still be here.
wait, what was that, Matt?
Nothing.
So let's talk about the opening of this video game. Outside of the sort of like recap that Matt and Nick were talking about, this game opens kind of similarly to the first by echoing some of the first line of the game, I think, where it says, like, in the beginning there was an explosion such, and basically we get kind of another quick recap in just text form of what happened. We get some beautiful shots of the world. And Matt, this is something I think I heard you talk about on Get Played when you went to the big Death Stranding 2 sort of event, on how you thought this was just real footage of like some landscape. And
Yeah.
I totally understand
It
why you
looked
thought
real.
that, because
It
I
looked
thought it was real
100%
as well.
It was shocking. And just to like, I mean, they were showing it on a big screen at the Orpheum theaters. So like, for even it to look that real on a screen that scale was insane to me. It looked incredibly photorealistic.
Wow.
I do want to know, did Hideo Kojima look realistic when you met him in person?
He looked like one of the holograms in the shelters, actually.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though he was physically present.
Yeah. He has this sort of like he has this sort of this pixelated aura about him, kind of. I did meet him, and it was very insane. We don't have to get into it, but it was insane.
What happened? Tell us.
Yeah, let's not get into that. Not interesting at all for a podcast.
I got to go with my co-host and friend Heather Campbell to the event where she was an invited guest, and it happened to be an insane weekend in Los Angeles. So there wasn't that many people in attendance, which meant that we would have like a better chance at FaceTime with him, because there was just not that many people at this event. And so he was there, and we did talk to him for a little while with his interpreter, Aki, who was extremely cool. And that was insane to watch in real time, because like what Aki does is he's listening to me talk, and in real time talking to Kojima, and then Kojima responds, and then in real time he's like, he doesn't wait till he gets all the information. He's just like talking as he's talking, which is incredible skill. But he was very nice and very funny guy. Actually, he was super cool.
Dang.
Wow.
To hear more, listen to Get Played's episode 2 weeks ago at this point. 3 weeks ago.
So
Yeah.
on the topic though of these landscapes, I just wanted to throw out there that like I think that there's like a lot of great new lighting effects and assets. Like that's where I see the most like upgrades in terms of graphics. Like it's not necessarily in like the fidelity of like a particular rock or something. It's like in the entire like the way everything is lit. So it's like you get that very like cool low light sundown or like morning effect of just like that purple sky and just like the edge of a mountain or something. And it's just, yeah, I think that's why it looks so photorealistic to me. Is it's all lighting, baby.
And this is Guerrilla's Decima engine
Yes.
that powered the Horizon series. So that's obviously seen significant upgrades between the console generations. And then, of course, like Hideo Kojima is obsessed with fidelity, especially. And so, it looks incredible.
Charlie, is that
Best engine in the game, I think. I think best gaming engine. Like people presume it's like lightning better than Unreal 5.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's knocking
Fox
everything
was
out.
really good too, and it's a bummer that he doesn't have the license.
This looks like that though.
It does
to me.
look like Fox. You're
like
right.
all the
Yeah.
textures look so like I can touch everyone's clothes and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I've seen
reaching out
people
and touching my TV.
Oh yeah, give me those clothes.
Yeah, give me them clothes.
I've seen people online. There's like a lot of like rage bait like about this game, like on TikTok and stuff. Like people just being like, "This game doesn't even look that good. It looks like shit," and things like that. But I've seen people being like, "This game has no details." Like, they'll for example try to shoot out a tire on like a car and like nothing happens to it, and then that's their example of how the game is bad. But like, just look at everything else. I don't need a tire to deflate when it's shot. If it looks like it's fucking real, like, it's ridiculous.
You know what really struck me, Matt, on that
Yeah.
note is just going into Sam's like house for the
Yeah.
first time,
Yeah.
and the amount of detail in there compared to, I think the only time maybe you go into one of those facilities in the last game is if you do the final pizza order, you go into Higgs's place.
Yeah, the bad guy.
But I even remember the detail there being much less than like the cutscene of him drinking his tea all down in the dumps in this section. It's good.
I also think that those shelters, like in the first game, I was like, this is kind of depressing. Like this, like this whole vibe is bad. But something about this one, and I think just maybe where we're at in the world, I'm sort of like, these shelters kind of seem kind of nice.
They're nice.
Yeah. He's got a lot of fridge space.
Yeah.
It's the world of this and then Fallout is seeming a lot more appealing as the days go on.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being a ghoul.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I know it kind of works against like what the game sort of is, but I am hoping we see a lot more interior spaces in this game. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really want to see, and I don't know if I want to know how their societies work, because when you head into these like cities, like when you go to Ciudad del Norte, it says there's 105,000 people living there, and you had that in the first game too. And I'm like, show me where those people are. Like, take me underground and see how they are living.
Yeah.
Does that? I don't know if you guys who have gotten a little farther, has there been any of that yet?
Not yet. Not to what you.
Okay.
What do you want? I think.
I think they spend so much time with the holograms, and I'm like, as long as you're not dead, we don't have to worry about no BTs.
That's
right.
True.
Yeah.
The BT hologram that Sam has is super awesome.
Oh, that was really cool.
One thing
at first I was like, oh, he's gonna get eaten by a BT, or he's impervious to BTs now.
Same here.
Like, oh,
I thought that too.
Yeah.
It really was one of those moments where I was like, did I forget something about the end of the game where he's invincible? This opening too, there's too much to talk about, like every detail, but I do want to say a couple things that outside of the beauty of it all, this is a gorgeous introduction. Outside of the beauty, it's gorgeous. It's a wonderful introduction to some of the adjustments in this game through the sort of opening credits sequence. Like, we're introduced to the new weather effects, like the earthquakes or the windstorms. We're, seeing Lou for the first time, who is now, I think, almost a year, 11 months old, maybe a year, because Lou in the first game's like, what? Barely.
Baby.
Not even like a month or something, because it's hard to say.
In the first one, Lou's a baby.
Yeah.
And then
in this one, Lou's a baby.
And now Lou's still a baby. So we're seeing new baby
But he's like
Lou.
a baby with hair and stuff.
Yes.
He's a slightly older baby.
He's a slightly older baby.
She's a she.
Oh, sorry.
Remember,
Did
that's
you
the
miss
big
that?
reveal.
Sorry.
That.
We see the little.
I did miss that.
Yeah.
I actually did miss that.
We see the chiral spiders that are a new element. We see just a lot of new elements in this game, as the game also gives us a chance to refamiliarize ourselves with the is it the Hodra deck? Is that your little tool that
Audra deck?
Audra deck. No H in there. That gets us to Sam's shelter, which you were talking about, and it's great. Does anyone have anything else outside of maybe some of the new music that they want to say about this opening?
Yeah.
Nick or
go
Matt?
for that first.
Well, the score is procedurally generated. There's some of the elements of the score is procedurally generated, and so what that means is like you'll have like a track playing, and depending on what you're doing, it could change. So like if you're running around, it'll like add drums. It'll add a drum track to the track. Or and if sometimes you'll be going in a particular direction, and that's when a song will kick in. But then if you veer off the path or go in a different direction, the song will start to like fade away, or parts of the song will start to fade away, and then when you go back to the direction that you're going, it'll kick back in at the point at which it would be continuing. And I just think that seems impossible. Like that's, and I know that's not the first game or anything like that to have that as part of it, but it is absolutely wild to me that that's even in this.
Yeah, that sort of dynamic system is really impressive too. Nick,
I just wanted to say on Baby Lou real quick that, and I wrote this note down, that in the first game, for so much of the game, for me at least, I didn't really think of the baby as a baby. It's more of a tool to help
You're not
Sam.
Supposed to. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
That's interesting. But now I'm walking around with this baby strapped to my chest out of the bubble, and my first thought was, I gotta put this baby down. Why is this baby on my chest?
Oh yeah.
There's a freaking earthquake.
When you fall down and the baby is strapped to you, I do sort of think, well, you wouldn't do this, like because you just kind of fall down with the baby on you, and then like the baby would be really hurt if that was real. So it's a little bit immersion breaking. The game's not good.
It's kind of like Hangover coded.
I was gonna say it reminds me of Alan from The Hangover.
Yeah, it's kind of like Alan from The Hangover.
Or his other character in Due Date. Doesn't he also have a baby in that movie?
That's right.
They going to the baby? Isn't the whole thing about getting to the baby?
Get him to the baby.
Get him to the baby.
Yeah.
That's the baby.
You guys are not gonna like Ken Jeong's appearance in this game, I tell you what.
He should be a guy in a place.
He should be a guy in a place.
Ken Jeong man.
Yeah,
I felt that way
Fragile.
When Fragile got knocked off for a little thing. I was like, that baby's gonna be very hurt, and then we find out it was very hurt.
Yeah.
Matt, when you talked to Kojima, did you pitch Ken Jeong man to him?
I didn't pitch it to him. I didn't think he was open to pitches. But also,
hey man, I know you're not open to pitches, but I just want to say King Jong Man.
I just want to, well, and if I'm being honest, it wouldn't have been my first pitch. It would have been like I have to pitch a couple of things to get in first and to work my way to Ken Jeong man.
Ken Jeong, yeah.
How about
picture
Matt
this
Apodaca man?
Yeah.
And then
and
then just
Theo
please hear
Von
me
Man.
out.
Theo Von man, yeah.
And then this is not a character. This is just an idea. Brown Mirror.
Yeah, Brown Mirror as well.
You're gonna have to
Think
pay
about
Charlie for that.
Think about it. You can make a yellow mirror too. I don't need to tell you how that works.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, spoiler alert. It's piss.
Don't spoil it.
And you get to piss in the game.
You do
That's a
piss
better
in this
idea
game.
than mine.
You got the
so
EX
happy
grenades and the brown mirror grenades in this game.
Now you guys are getting on board with brown
Here we
mirror.
go.
What if there was a poop grenade, but it wasn't like a grenade? It was just like a log of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was like,
It doesn't explode.
If Fragile's hand mask was just under your butt and it just caught your poop.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
flung
I
it
would love that.
at a brigand.
It does no damage.
Yeah, they're just like grossed out. They start
It's
like
healing,
throwing up.
actually.
He's
It's
going,
healing.
"Ugh."
Yeah, you don't get blood bags
Nick, were
in
you
this game.
excited? Really excited for the Frankenstein reference that we got from Dead Man?
And he's making Frankenstein, if you think about it.
Yeah,
If you think about it, he is making it.
he is making Frankenstein.
He's making it, and he kind of is it too.
Yeah, he's making it and he is it.
Yeah,
I did like that. Yeah, that's.
As you get back to your shelter, we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but Sam has set up a sort of like hologram to keep, I assume, to keep, anyone who might wander in to
You shouldn't assume.
his shelter. Well, I know. I'm just
It's like a
taking,
scarecrow.
Yeah, it really is a scarecrow.
or like a Halloween decoration, like a big skeleton.
Welcome to Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, that's what pops out. Well, there's been other characters from previous games that you could set up as holograms, so maybe it's not out of the question, Charlie.
Fragile has to duck the fear gas when she walks in.
Yeah, it's fucking.
So there, it looks basically he set up this hologram that looks like BTs are sort of scaring, could scare anyone away, which was what we were referring to as like he walks by it and maybe for a second I thought he had a power I forgot about.
And this BT, by the way, is wearing Dracula teeth.
Yeah.
I think I think it's totally fair to assume that he had a power we forgot about, by the way, just based on how the first game ended with sort of the reveal of his backstory. If they had just introduced an element where he was immune to BTs, I would have been like, okay, all right, let's move on.
What if they had BTS?
Oh, BTs, it's BTS.
Hadn't thought about that.
Like, we thought they were BTs. Turns out
they were BTS this is time.
This is kind of skipping. I don't know if it's skipping ahead, but there's a part where coming up where like Fragile comes into your house, basically, right?
Yeah.
That's like the first thing that happens. I was talking at July's birthday to some people about this, but
Happy
like
birthday, July.
Thank you.
I thought this sequence was really exciting to me because it was like so what Norman Reedus' character Sam does in this moment is like the alarms are going off. There's somebody in his room, and he's like freaking out. He's like, "What should I do? What should I do?" So he goes up to these knives, right? And he's like looks at like his different knives. And he's like, "No, not that one. No, not that one." Like you can like feel him trying to decide what weapon to grab. Then he goes and he gets a gun, and he's like looking at this like revolver, and he's like, "Okay, do I use this revolver?" And then
you can't kill anyone.
And then you assume he's taken the revolver, and when he peeks his head around the corner, he holds up a frying pan. It's like it's like a really great visual joke that's like about him deciding how to approach this situation of conflict, and it's also like a allegory for what the game is. The game is about approach and decide and making your choices of like, if I'm going to enter this situation in a violent way or a non-violent way. I just thought that was so slick and so smart, and I was so proud of Kojima in this moment. I was like, this is perfect.
I agree. It is like a mirror.
Yeah. It's like a mirror.
Jeremy, you're on the money with that. I think this whole cutscene setup, even before,
was like a mirror.
It's like a mirror. Before Fragile even arrives,
like Jake in a mirror.
It's setting up so much so well, Jeremy. You're talking about it's almost this like ludonarrative cohesion that you're referring to of like how you can approach the game, but also it's setting up so much like great world stakes.
They're called Ludens, actually.
Yeah, they're Ludens.
Luden narrative.
Ludocris narrative.
It's also setting up these
and also
stakes.
funny. Like that's the key. Is it's funny. I'm like, you
funny.
did all this and it's a joke. Good for you, buddy. Like this is good stuff.
Like
I do like that this whole game plays against Norman Reedus' type, because even though he still is like quiet and stoic and all that stuff, he's not like abrasive. Like in most of the other stuff he does, like most of the other stuff he's very
Boondock
like
Saints,
aggro, or Walking Dead or anything like that, where he's like
Blade
aggro 2. and putting everything
Ballerina.
out. He's like very passive, and like him loving this baby is the most endearing thing in the entire world, where like
it is.
And you like think of this little like found family. It reminded me of like Godzilla Minus Zero, where the people who are not romantically connected form this little family to raise this baby that is not theirs.
Charlie, I so agree with you. His performance is really good. He finds a really good balance where it feels like I'm saying the same thing almost, but I feel like he's guarded but not overly defensive.
Yes.
Like it is personal protection that keeps him away from people, and his fear of being touched. That was in the recap too.
And that did sound familiar, like you said it before or something.
Oh,
I think Norman Reedus has a really tough job in this game. I'll say that. Like I think it's a really tough role that he has to play, and I'm trying really hard to get behind him on it. Like I think I'm still in the phase of like thinking like I'm like, I hate his hair. That's my biggest problem.
Oh, you're gonna love it later then.
His hair is just like that stringy. I'm just like, ugh. Like I want to cut his hair so bad.
What'd you think of Fragile's haircut? I thought it looked great.
I love it.
Love it.
Glow up.
Yeah.
very much a glow up for Fragile.
Jeremy to me sounds like an
She looked like
entertainment
shit
executive that's like, great performance. The hair though, we got to do something about the hair.
To also be clear, I'm not saying great performance. I'm not on these guys' page. I think that I'm like what I will say is it's tough. It's a tough job to do because it's a lot of silent acting in video game.
I think,
but I am happy to see him not being the like Daryl Dixon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's like
or
Daryl. Yeah.
Yes, or like Cloud Strife, who's like always like put upon and like like snotty. Like I'm glad that he's active and I do think his relationship with Lou is cute. I'm like. Yeah, I'm excited. I also want to know more, and this is from the leftover from the first game too. I'm like, who are you? Like, what is
Sam.
The Nardwar question.
I'm Sam too.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I wonder, I don't know if they're going to get into this in this game, but I had a similar thought. It seems like he continues, this is almost like a trope, but he continues to pour himself into something new, and there isn't a lot that we know yet, or will maybe ever know, that makes him him. First, it's been being a porter for so long, and now it's being a dad. And is there something more to him that we will learn? I mean, I don't think we're going to learn, like, this is Sam's interests, and this is what he really cares about. But
it's interesting because it's like he's kind of like Mad Max, right? Where it's like he's coming into each one of these problems and fixing it, and I do like that. But then I'm like, I've spent so much time with him alone, which is weird. So it's like there's some anyways, very excited to see where it goes.
I have a question about Timefall really quick.
Yeah.
How is Sam able to just wear a hood? And like you see these things where he's in a Timefall rain and it's falling all over his nose and stuff because his hood only goes from here. How is he not getting old?
I think this is something we hit on in the first Games Club, because there's a scene where Lochna, as she's like trapped under something, the Timefall is falling onto her. But I think once Timefall hits a surface, the rules of this world are that then it sort of loses its aging solution or whatever. And so maybe if it's dripping off his hood, he's fine. But
his nose is like sticking out, and it seems like it would naturally. You would think he'd need like a full face shield.
That's probably just like
that's an old nose.
Yeah, his nose is just old.
If you go into photo mode,
the beach that makes you old.
If you go into photo mode, you can look in the hairs inside his nose, and they're gray.
Oh no!
Oh, that's the big.
It is getting
an
old.
advancement of the genre.
Death Stranding 2 on
and
the
I
beach
just want
that
to
makes
point
you
out.
old.
I just want to point out real quick. That was my first hijinks.
That was good.
That was well worth it.
Hey,
I'm just saying, I've been really
keep
good.
It up. Actually, I said no hijinks. Keep it up.
To keep us moving a little bit, I'm gonna kind of get us. I'm gonna kind of get us through this cutscene really quick. Fragile shows up. Essentially, what we learned
good
from her, looking great. She shows up. She invades the family space that Sam has so deeply curated, and she shows up. And essentially, what we learn from her is that she is working for a new group called Drawbridge, which is, as far as I understand it, not related to the UCA. The UCA has done their job, in quotes, in the United States. She gives Sam kind of an update, too, of like, Die Hardman, does no one know where he is? Because he's not the president anymore.
Right.
Because he took over at the end of the first game. He's no longer president. We don't know. She doesn't, I think, know where Deadman, Hartman, and Lochna are. And is like, Sam, I need you to go get Mexico online. What else am I missing that we need to recap from this?
There is a big detail we're missing. That when she shows up, she has the BT end boss from the first game with her. She has her umbrella out, and then remember that giant flying fish monster? It like goes into Sam's place and deactivates the defenses.
Oh,
I thought that was a hologram. His
hologram.
Defenses. I thought that was his holographic defenses.
Oh,
I thought it was like another piece of his hologram was that it's like, if you're not scared by the BTs on the ground, and then a whale could come out, and it's sort of like, then she hasn't been dissuaded by it.
It's all computer stuff. Yeah, it's all.
Everything's computer though.
Yeah, it's all computer.
I love Tesla.
Any other details we should hit on from this cutscene before she sort of like assures Sam, "Hey, I'll watch Lou," because he says he's like, "I can't take my kid with me," but she's like, "I'll watch Lou. I'll be the babysitter. You go do this." Anything else that we need to touch on?
When Fragile is in the shadows, when he has the frying pan in his hand, he's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah,
and I'm sort of like, you would in shadow recognize somebody you spent a lot of time with.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm fragile, but I'm not that freshy.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I just like this whole thing. I think this whole thing's freaking rocks and it zips,
like
and now I'm back out and I'm doing a thing, and I'm like, yes,
dude.
I love being back out doing a thing.
I love it too, man.
Yeah,
so
it's good to be back out and doing
at this point, we're into chapter 1 out of the prologue. We're crossing the borders, open borders here. And
they are called episodes. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to keep saying episode 1.
No,
So we're on chapter 2. No,
I don't know. It's episode.
We're on the Phantom. We just finished the Phantom Menace.
Oh,
and now we're
I
going into
want to point out
Attack.
one little before we leave. I actually do have one last little detail I want to share that was kind of something they would do in Death Stranding 1 to like freak you out occasionally. When she invites you to accept this job, you can say no up to like 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
And
Did anyone do this?
I did this as many times as I could until it forced you to say yes.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't like to make people feel bad in video games. I'm like allergic to giving the negative response. It's just like, I just have to be nice.
I just had to see what it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, Nick, you remember some of those cutscenes in the first game where like you'd go and like check in on Lou and then you'd have like a vision or like a hallucination or something? It's kind of like
Mads
that.
Mikkelsen?
And then you don't see Mads in this. And then it brings you back, Nick, to the beginning of the cutscene where the song is playing, "Raindrops keep falling on my head." And then it basically zips you to the moment where she asks you the question again. And you can refuse 3 times total.
Interesting.
And then you
What
just have to
happens
accept.
after 3? You just have to do it.
You just have to accept. But I was like, okay, they're still doing some of this play with the reality of the game thing again. We head out to Mexico. There's a bunch that we could talk about here, but on this series of deliveries in chapter 1 of getting down here, the first notable thing I would like to point out is our first combat encounter or sequence where you're kind of going under that, like, it's before the overpass, but there's almost like these series of gates that cars can pass in where there are what are the enemies called that are the humans?
I want to call them raiders.
They're called bandits.
Bandits. Folks, early on in this game, I'm already like, I don't know if I'm loving the combat and how there are more options in this. Like you can use one of those like the sort of like electric bow staffs and just like beat on someone. Any first impressions on the new combat?
I could not figure out how to throw a punch to save my life.
Circle.
I kept
Get the
walking
controller
up to
out of your
people with my controller in my mouth.
Stop deep throating the controller. Press circle.
Man.
I struggled a little with combat at first. For some reason, that was the thing that took the longest to come back to me. In my mind, when I think of the controls of Death Stranding, I think just hold both triggers the whole time. Got my hands up on my backpack. I'm walking straight.
I got two fingers on L2 and R2 the whole time.
Do you guys play with your index fingers? It's a question.
I've been moving to middle sometimes.
Yeah, I'll have 4 fingers on the back controllers for sure for this game only.
Oh, wow.
The claw, we call it.
Yeah, I have the claw going.
The claw.
I got a little bit of the claw during this game. You know, like where I was like, Uchi.
Yeah, Uchi.
I like the combat in this game. I'm going guns blazing.
Yeah,
I decided I'm not gonna mess around with like
Stealth.
making things take longer. I'm gonna go in and like try to like make things just see what happens. I've almost never played any Kojima game that way. I'm almost always pacifist run, but
There are moments later on where you start acquiring new weapons, and it has shifted my play style from stealthy to just guns blazing.
Yeah,
100%.
One of my favorite things, it is just like an aesthetic thing, but whipping out a new assault rifle out of the box, and then the slow motion of him just like breaking it out of the thing and pulling it up to your shoulder is so satisfying every single time. Also, the first time you shoot someone and it goes into slow motion a little bit, and then when you take them down, it's all so satisfying.
It's so nice. I just love anytime you take it down an enemy, it's like I just love it.
My first combat encounter, well, I was using the big string, as it's called, and took out the first series of enemies that way. But then later on, when I encountered more bandits, I was using the mazer handgun, but I didn't test it at first, and it doesn't fire like it's not like press L. Charge it. It's not press L2, aim, press R2, shoot. You have to charge it up. But then that was another fun whole different element. Essentially, it's a different take on the bolo gun, which you eventually get in this game too.
I love the mazer. That's become my primary for bandits.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I'd remembered from the first game that I made sure to do this one, and it's just as satisfying, is to put a package on the ground, pick it up with one hand, and then hit somebody with it. And
I haven't done that yet. I forgot about that.
It is such a crunch, and it goes into that slow motion of them just being like,
bang. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember if you get to them at this point, so forgive me. But there are VR missions in the game, like that you can access from your private domicile.
Oh yes.
And I've done a lot of those, and like the difference between like those and like tutorial levels in other games, I feel like these are designed to be extremely fun. So like there's a couple of stealth ones, and I sort of was like messing with the stealth in that just to see like how the systems are and stuff, and it feels really, really fun to be stealthy. But yeah, once you get a bunch of different guns, you kind of don't need to do it, because it's like, I mean, because none of the weapons are, I think you technically still can kill people, but none of the weapons are lethal. Like
it used
rounds.
to be in the old game. Didn't you have different like you had to get a non-lethal version of the assault rifle,
exactly,
and a lethal version of the assault rifle.
Yeah.
Now
I'm sure. If I know Kojima, I bet he will design a bunch of encounters where you have to do stealth in this game. You know what I mean? Like,
for
and,
sure.
and I'll actually be happy to see those, and I'll welcome those when they come. I think what I'm allowing myself to do in this game is just approach things in a variety of ways. Like, so I'm going to go in a lethal way this time, or maybe a stealth way this time, and just. Yeah, my operative thing here is like, how much fun can I have in this world within this game?
Right.
And so far it's like
ton of fun.
10 out of 10. Yeah.
It's extremely funny to do any stealth with a bunch of stuff on your back, though.
Yes,
very, very funny.
Poking out of the grass as you're like below. Yeah.
There's a note about that. If it's too high, they'll see you.
They'll see you. Yeah. I said this in our group chat, but when you get to the robot enemies towards the end of chapter 1, they very much reminded me of Neil Blomkamp's his robot designs from Elysium or Chappie. And it's very cool. Like, I just loved shooting them. I loved it. I am Chappie. I am consciousness. I just love the little explosions that come off of them when you take them down. And I love their design.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
I did not fight those guys. Yeah,
you can run past them.
I blew past them in my motorcycle.
I killed every single one.
Were you gonna say something?
I like that Sam is like, what are those? Like, he's like, what the hell?
Who are these guys?
What's their deal?
As if he doesn't constantly encountering like new phenomenon in the world.
Yeah,
they
like,
throw
so this is
dogs
crazy
at
to you. Yeah,
Jeremy, they throw dogs at you. They
that's cool.
Just constantly going around and taking a little thing and throwing it off, and it turns into a dog that runs up and tries to explode on you.
Yeah, I'll say that if you don't fight them and you're doing your motorcycle, they do this thing where they add like a bunch of them start chasing you, and it becomes like you just get out in the nick of time.
Yeah.
The one thing this game doesn't have I remember the first time I saw bandits in the first game, they're like off, and then when they clock you, you see the lights start flashing, and they start running towards you, and it is like very scary.
It is scary.
Until you realize that they're pretty easy to fight, but at that first moment is really intense. And so in this, it wasn't as it wasn't as intense of a first combat encounter, but it was really fun.
When they're all coming towards you, it reminds me of like 28 Days Later zombies, where they're too frantic. They're just a little faster than you think they're going to be, and you're like, oh god, they're mad.
Yeah. There's so much about this game, like moments like that, Charlie, that have some of the elements have been demystified, having played the whole first one, where I'm not as afraid of them, but I do still have a sense of fear. It's still there. I will say too, so to get us through a little more of this, and please continue to litter in details if you guys have them, we are delivering the chiral network gateway to the C1 city in Mexico. Once we do that, then we end up connecting a series of other little spots in Mexico as well. I ended up doing, I know Matt was doing this too, but I didn't do this as much in the first game, but I'm already trying to get on everyone's good side and get my rating up at a lot of these places. And so I'm picking up any extra little medicine or clothing item drops that you find. But one of the first notable things for me was taking there's like a little mountain range pass that you can go over into a new area where there's like, it's kind of a bandit camp of like a bunch are set up there. And that was where I first got into use, they teach you how to use like the PCC again. They teach you how to use almost like your binocular system that can clock different enemies and tag them. But I think the first thing of note that I hit was right before the last area you bring on to the chiral network, where you have to fight, where you go through sort of a stealth encounter and you are fighting like shadow BTs. You got to destroy all of them.
Someone left an interesting chat in the Zoom. I don't know.
Good timing.
If you want to read that out loud.
That's okay. I think I'll ignore it. Okay. But I didn't.
It says they should let you pick up a porno. Probably have a hard time jacking off underground.
That was just for the chat.
And that's the danger you run, the risk you run by putting something in the chat.
I was confused when they didn't teach me how to do the brown mirror in the tutorial.
I'm new, so I don't know what's just for the chat. And what's
it was in the social
show.
strand service. You have to go look at all the Facebook posts. It'll be like, this person made a wood carving of Jesus, and nobody said good job.
Oh,
all those Facebook.
Jeremy, how you doing on time?
Speaking of,
I have to go. I did want to. I'm about to have to leave, but I did want to talk just real quick. Closing thoughts about the earthquakes. Like I'm noticing like earthquakes a lot, and I'm liking it. I'm like this is cool. There's rocks are falling on my head.
Have they hit you yet?
One did. One rock hit me. And he's like, "Go!"
Dude,
and all his stuff falls off, and you have to go
you
grab
jabroni.
It. He's like, "Go!"
Jeremy, dude, thanks for being here, pal.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I guess no one has any thoughts about the earthquake stuff, but I'll be back.
I do like
the
cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
The new weather effects in general do make the world feel a little more dangerous and dynamic, between the rivers that can fill up and the sandstorms.
Oh yeah, the rivers. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think all the effects look great.
I built a specific bridge that would go over a river, truly to avoid something like that in the future. Like I spent an hour finding materials for it, because I was like, I don't want for this to obstruct me. Anyway.
Yeah, and then last thing too is you get your motorcycle like so quick. It's
yeah,
like right
great.
away. You get it, and then now you have it.
This was the big question I had. When are we gonna get to drive around again? Because I love driving in my truck in the first one. This tri-cruiser is so freaking cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love how you sit in it.
Yeah, I love sitting in it too.
I love the trike. I love the
because you're sitting, kind of laid
back. You do
kind
of sit back. Yeah, it is great.
Yeah,
you sit laid back with your hands. It's kind of like wheelchair controls, but I like it because it feels like his hands are free. You can now drive by and pick stuff up. I love
I
that.
know. I love driving by picking
And it makes
stuff
sense with this
This
position.
game
He
kind
could
of
totally
has
reach
the
out.
feeling that the From Software games have, where like people are contributing to each other's stuff, but this is the most useful any other gamer has ever been, like passively, where I'm just like, oh, thank you for the charger, thank you for the bridge, thank you for the ladder. Like, it's also during the big BT fight when the things are popping out and throwing assault rifles and blood grenades and stuff. And I'm like, you guys are my best friends in the entire world.
Yeah, it really sucks when your internet goes down and you're playing the game because like all that stuff goes away.
Oh
Really?
no!
It really is a bummer because like it's like all the stuff on the map goes away too.
Oh,
It's just
wow.
like everything that could help you.
Glendale Spectrum.
All right, well I'm off, folks. Have a good rest of your app.
Bye, Jeremy.
See you on the next one.
Jeremy.
Bye.
Miss you, love you.
We're getting
And
other
that
places
includes
online.
Video Games, a comedy show.
Thank
That's right.
God. We're getting other places online. Via Libre is one place that we get online with the lady in the little nightgown. Very striking appearance.
Calm
but
down.
I think the first before we re-meet
Whoa.
Alex Weatherstone, which someone had brought up from the
I
previous
do
game.
think we should mention that this woman is 7 months pregnant and says that the baby and she's been 7 months pregnant for a really long time.
Yeah, and
She's like, the baby stopped, and then later she's like, baby seems happy. It stopped growing, but it seems fine.
Yeah, that seemed like that was going to be a bigger thing than it was, at least in the moment.
I think it's world building, just world building.
Yeah. I think after we meet Weatherstone, I think that might even be where we do get the trike to take us back, but we end up fighting. We have to fight this giant BT in this area.
Yeah.
And they tell you to go fight it too.
Yes.
Like, there's a big BT
Well,
out there. Why don't you go test
because
your
all of a
weapons?
sudden, Dead Man shows up and he has a whole conversation with you, and then in the middle of it, he's like, "Sam, a big BT's outside. You got to go fight it." And then when you come back, he just resumes the conversation.
Yeah.
This is important. Can someone walk us through the TLDR of what Dead Man is telling us here?
Who the
I
hell
don't even know if
knows?
I
I mean,
mean, talks
so
forever.
My understanding of it is, and this is like
He be yapping.
he be yapping, this and a yap, but he kind of re-explains that like Lou is similar to like, or that he has the same affliction as Lou, where like he can't, like he's impervious to all this and like can't die. Like he's sort of re-explaining his whole deal, like, and so he's basically like, I think there's like this whole thing that's going on with like we're trying to learn more about Lou. Oh, by the way, there's a big BT outside.
I will
Well,
say,
he also tells us that we found South America and then Australia. I think,
Yes.
are those the two? And so it confirms that the rest of the world is still out there, basically.
Yeah, and that there are like species from Australia making their way into South America, which is they're a little perplexed by. But I think he has the theory that the gate plate,
Yeah, the plate gate.
the plate gate, is
Watergate.
essentially a portal from Mexico to Australia.
Ocean.
He also talks about how he has a big emotional response,
Yeah.
Yes.
emotional moment too, where he's telling us about how I'd never thought I actually really had a soul or a place in the afterlife, but it seems like I do.
Bye.
And then he pieces out.
Yeah, then he says goodbye.
Yeah.
I feel, doesn't he use some props in this cutscene?
He is using like baby toys to
Yeah,
demonstrate.
it's
I
kind of like
swear.
Whose Line.
It's like, who's like, I feel bad for this, but he is a yapper, and I feel like they were timing him pulling out baby toys as soon as the viewer wanted to start looking at their phone. He would pull out a prop to distract you.
You're like, okay, he's got a rattle. I'm paying attention. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Look,
oh, he's
I
jingling
like him.
keys in front of
Yeah.
me. What?
Keys.
But 10
Keys
minute
on
monologues
Venice.
every time. I also I got a slightly suspicious vibe from him, and I kind of got it in the first game too, but something felt weird to me, and I don't know, maybe
You're saying
I'm
he's
only,
sus?
he's a little sus.
But they all are. I mean, Die Hardman is too. But
That's
he's
true.
Like, he's like
Hell,
generally
even
like he's like Ati the janitor.
Yeah.
Something about
Yeah.
Dead Man revealing this backstory and then immediately going off and dying, I just didn't buy it, and I feel like the game has more story to
Yeah.
tell us there.
Is Lou actually dead?
I don't.
Let's hang for a sec.
I don't know.
Charlie, the answer is I don't know.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. He wants us to go fight this big BT. I ended up using a ton of, it's essentially this like sort of a giant skull of a BT that's flying around. It has this like tentacle attack that it does to you. I ended up using a lot of just blood grenades that I had fabricated. I used maybe a little bit of an assault rifle, but this just ended up being an encounter that I didn't find difficult, but I think took a lot longer than it needed to. What about you guys?
This is where
I did die 3 times because they eat me. Yeah.
Same.
Oh no.
Yeah. I just found it because you're like running around in the BT gunk.
Yeah, the tar.
In the tar cum, that it was so hard to maneuver at certain points.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just wish there were a little bit of like, it tells you can jump out of the way at certain moments when the BT is throwing stuff at you, but that even felt a little delayed on my end.
I hope that
weird.
there's like
Mine
an
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say I hope there's like anti-tar boots at some point that you can just then like
That'd be
walk
nice.
normal speed.
Yes.
In tar.
So yours was like a big giant skull. Mine was Sunkook.
I don't. You're gonna have to explain that one
Is
to me,
that
Char.
a BTS member?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good, Charlie.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing Charlie's search history here 5 seconds ago. Names of BTS members.
Charlie, that reference was, dare I say, smooth like butter.
Thank you.
Oh. That's a BTS song.
Yes,
Connor.
I think I
this
kind
one?
of put that one together. Yeah.
Who's this one?
Is that Jimin? Yeah, Jimin.
Yeah.
Oh my
we
gosh,
said
how
it at
did
the
we
same
pull the
time.
same name? Wow.
Nice
He's
work.
The cute one.
You take this giant BT out, and then essentially, I think what we learned then.
Does kind of have a vaginal appearance.
His face splits in half.
When it-
Yes.
Charlie, you're gonna have to tell me about which ones you've been looking at because that's crazy, dude.
It seem a little
A hair of one. It like
I
you said,
didn't
it
even
kinda
think
splits
of
over.
it.
And now he's
one.
talking about hairs.
I didn't even think of it.
whoa.
Wow, I didn't even. But what? Now you say it.
I
Yeah.
didn't put it together until Sam's line of dialogue when the mouth first opens. He says, kind of horny.
Kind of.
That's more than he
I'm
expresses in the rest of the
half
game.
chub.
Disgust
Half
this.
chub.
Okay.
So fragile.
Okay.
This reminds me of something.
Die Hardman also didn't he leave us with? He left us with a present to deliver to
Yes.
Lou at this point. So now it's in kind of classic Death
It was
Stranding.
Dead Man, not Die Hardman.
Sorry. Oh, thank you, Dead Man.
Get it right, Connor. Jeez.
I know. I think Hartman gives you a present for Lou, and it's in the classic Death Stranding fashion. It's like, hey, go all the way back, backtrack the entire way to your essentially
House?
facility. Yeah, your little
Yeah,
house.
you go home when you're away from home for a while. That's
Yeah,
This is where you get the
That's just like
tri-cruiser.
a mirror for real life.
it is. You get your tri-cruiser here. You start making
to
your
work
way
and then go home.
back. We get some more beautiful. Who's the musical artist who's doing most of the music for this game?
It's Wood Kid.
Wood Kid. So
Beautiful.
I mean, R.I.P. Low Roar.
Yeah.
Really sad, but
We got some low roar in here.
There's some Low Roar.
I almost that it hit me when the low roar song came. I think it's episode 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I when I
Kind
saw
of a
that
perfect-
name pop up, I thought, wow.
Yeah. I have like a notable event that happened on the way back that is a story point that we all had to experience.
I didn't get that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. Well, Charlie brought it up, I think, earlier. On the way back, maybe 2/3 of the way back to our location where Lou and Fragile are to deliver the present, we run into these new enemies that Charlie
We're
mentioned.
told, an alarm goes off and says that our house is being
Oh, yes.
attacked. And so we start speeding back, and then all these robots, but they come out of BT tar. So they, yeah.
I actually did miss these guys for real. I did not see this. The first
How?
metal BT thing I saw.
This is like a
was-
cutscene, though. I think, right?
Yeah, it's a cutscene.
It's not after?
Did you have your eyes closed?
And then you have to fight them.
I was playing with my eyes closed.
He had the hands collar covering his eyes during this point. That's right, Charlie. We get a big warning that our compound that there's an intruder. And
Like
unlike
gunfire detected.
plenty of other games, when something like this happens and there's not a timer and you can just dick around forever, I'm like, okay, well, I'll do what I want. But this truly sent me flying back to Lou.
I was scared.
I did end up engaging with these guys in the combat encounter, and had kind of a lot of fun doing so, mostly just using like the electric rod and the mazer handgun to electrocute them. But then I tried to blow past one more group at the end, and that's when the cutscene hit, where an unnamed character shows up that is very much giving Ninja from Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid, yeah.
Yeah. What happens here, July? I mean, it's pretty quick.
Well, this is the cutscene that triggers Sam to be like, what is this at first?
It might be.
Is this when he gets home?
Wait, no, wait.
No, this guy like chops all the robots into little pieces.
Yeah, but is this also Sam in the cutscene exclaiming like, who are these guys, or what? Or he had already seen you?
He may have, yeah.
Okay.
I think we've already seen it, and this is the second part of it.
Yeah, so
But this guy he's also red plated, which is interesting.
Yeah,
it's the same armor.
I thought it was just going to be another new enemy that you would have to fight, but then this swordsman robot just mows down all the other robots and then
pieces
disappears.
out. Yeah.
Matt, did you see this?
I did see this, yeah.
I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know if I
This
just
was
took another route
unskippable.
home.
This was something you could not.
Yeah.
Guy
miss.
chops up robots?
Yeah.
Maybe you
pretty
just went like a
badass.
different way. Like I don't know. Like
I would love if the game just let you fully miss that, which seems like a very significant story moment.
Nick, on the walkthrough that we are following, it is on Order 7. Deliver the present for Lou walkthrough. I don't know how far it is into the video that we're watching, but yeah, this is an intriguing tease for more to come in the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And sort of a good little I don't know what you would call this, but a surprise moment where you think you're going to have to fight this guy, but then he destroys the enemies around you and disappears. And then we're just heading home. And I think we get another warning that more stuff has gone down.
I got like 3 warnings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we think that this guy is going to be a friend or a foe?
I bet it's going to be
Probably
middle
foe,
ground,
right?
leaning friend.
Probably Willem the friend.
Just going to go ahead and sit there with that for a
just because
second.
Jeremy's not here doesn't mean we can start goofing off.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You get back to home. You run down the steps and you can see that there's no one inside, and the game sort of prompts you to search for Fragile near the facility. If you use the Audra deck, you can see a set of purple footprints that lead around.
It's like you're Batman.
It is. It's exactly like that.
I screwed up and followed my own old
I did too.
footprints
I did too.
so far the wrong direction. I was like, wait a minute, this can't be right. And I ended up at the very beginning of the game on the top of those hills. And I was like, I gotta go all the way back.
I did have difficulty drawing routes in a map. Like, for some reason, I just couldn't figure it out all the time. Okay, I gotta draw a line here and then another line there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even do that. Sometimes I just like highlight the destination and so I'm just gonna freestyle this one.
But the game
Yeah.
makes you feel scared. It goes like, are you sure you want to exit route planning? I was like,
Yeah.
I can do this anytime, right?
Yeah.
So, Matt, why don't you tell us about this cutscene once we actually do discover Fragile? What do we see?
Well, she's all banged up.
Her
She's all
head's
busted
fucked up.
on the
Her
on
eye.
the ground. She's all busted.
Her hair looking good though.
Hair snatched for sure. And Lou is nowhere to be found at this point. And she's like explaining her side of it, sort of like Lion King 1.5 style, where where she's like, okay, so then I was leaving.
There was an attack at our place.
Yeah.
The
And-
bad guys came inside. Anyway.
they went, and then like she basically crashed on her bike, not Akira slide style. And it's
We do
actually
see a cool moment where she gets into the little cargo space. To
Yeah.
go
Yeah, she sort
front
of
the bottom
sneaks
part.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a little sneaking, but she could only transport. She only had time to like transport Lou basically, and then it just gets like sad from there.
Yeah,
It's
she
like,
tries to jump both of them. It doesn't work. Only
Yeah.
she leaves, and she comes back immediately and is visibly shaken from this jump because, as we've already learned in this game, she doesn't do that specifically anymore because of the harm it has done to her over time. She
Yeah.
then tries to transport Lou out. It doesn't work. And then what we see. So this is where the confusion comes in that Charlie brought up earlier, is that some nefarious figure shows up. Fragile protects Lou. She talks about how she did her best to protect Lou, but failed. We hear a gunshot, and then in the next scene, we see Lou. I think is then Lou crying in the distance, and then stops moving.
The guy puts a gun to the back of Fragile's head when she is holding Lou up to her face.
Yes.
Yeah.
So me, the implication is that the bullet went through Fragile and into Lou. But then, yeah, I think to come back to what Connor's saying, I think Lou's crying and then seems to die.
Well, but then, yeah, because then Norman Reedus has the present, and then Lou appears as a BT in the thing, and he's like, oh, I can only see you like this because you're dead. And then it cuts to episode 2.
I legitimately thought I missed something, and then I realized, I didn't necessarily miss anything. I even checked the corpus, which is your new sort of encyclopedia you have in the game. And if you look at the story, it says in the corpus, which this may not be true for moving forward in the story, that Lou is dead. It says that specifically, and what Charlie's referring to is this cutscene afterwards when Sam returns to their house, is that he sees in the present you had brought for Lou that a sort of like BT shadowy figure crawls over to it and inserts itself inside as if that's where it's comfortable, sort of thing.
When you
And
see
it's
the little
the BB
handprints,
container.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the BB container.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you,
see
Charlie.
handprints on the outside and then it goes into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
this is
then
a month
So you
after.
have Deadman and Lou dying within like 5 minutes in the game, which is kind of, I'm like, not all is as it appears.
It's interesting. I felt like I was thinking of The Last of Us 2 when this happened. That I don't know if anyone's aware of that game. It has another early main character death in it.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like this was kind of an interesting spin on it. What if instead of the character that you're playing dies, what if it's the baby instead? It's a really freaking dark thing for how much time you do spend with the baby.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll be like Mama and Lockney, where they're just like, there's a twin Lou. You can call me Lou.
And we're also the same person, so I'm not really gone
Very
either.
Super Troopers, or sorry, that's not Super Troopers. Beer Fest.
Beer Fest.
Yeah.
There's this thing happening, and I'm wondering if this is exactly what the development team in Kojima hoped, where I find myself kind of in denial that Lou is actually dead. And that is also the exact same thing that it seems to be going on with Sam, or at least something similar, where I'm jumping ahead, so I'll stop what I was about to say, but it seems that this might be something that's in his head, possibly.
Well, there's also, this is now reminding me that part of the message that Deadman is explaining is that the serial number on BB's thing was
There was
actually
another
there was
BB-42.
another one, so it's not even Lou is not even the original number.
BB28.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
there's a discrepancy.
So they're just like what they're trying to just figure out, like what else is going on. So I can see why at this point it is a bit nebulous as to the true fate of Lou.
I'll drop in the bucket for Connor's theory of it being in his head. it is established early on in this game that Sam no longer needs a BB to detect BTs.
Right.
Yes, that's
His
true.
dooms is so advanced.
Yes.
He says like I leveled up my dooms essentially.
Yeah.
There is a moment going back real quick to the cutscene of the gun being pointed to the back of Fragile's head, where Fragile's telling Sam he sort of curved the bullet like Wanted.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
These setups are always so long.
Yeah, to where like I start zoning them out before the punchline comes, and then I hear the punchline, and I'm like, oh wait, that's what it was the whole time.
Sam, he sort of curved the bullet like Wanted.
Now do it like Fragile.
So sorry, Sam. I left a brown mirror in your toilet.
Luckily, he didn't attack my hair.
But I will say at the end of episode 2, we're basically boarding the Nebuchadnezzar, right?
Basically,
Yeah.
The Matrix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It's like
well, so we have a time jump that I believe Matt
1
mentioned,
month.
right?
Yeah, it's a month later.
And boy, Sam is just is doing pretty poor. The place is still a mess. He's ran out of all his food. Fragile, I think, returns and is trying
He's
to
living that bachelor lifestyle.
yeah.
finished all his beer.
When she sort of like tries to shake
on
him,
the brown mirror.
she tries to shake him awake, being like, "Sam, I know that you're obviously devastated, but you have to keep going. You have to do something." And Sam is also having visions of suicide at this point.
Yeah.
He has a vision of it, and then he even
Living that
actually
bachelor lifestyle.
tries.
But the gun doesn't work. It won't let him.
Yeah, there's no the cases are empty of the bullets that are in the handgun, the same one that he almost used in that first cutscene with when Fragile enters.
Next to the picture of him and his wife and dead child.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, very family coded. I will say too, you can change like this is jumping back, so I apologize, but when you're in some of the safe rooms in this world, you can choose what pictures are used as your background in them. And I definitely chose the one of Fragile and one of the ones of Fragile and Lou posing together because I was like, hey, that's my wife and my daughter at home.
I picked one of me and Lou because Fragile's not really my wife.
Yeah, well, see, I'm projecting.
Are they romantically involved?
I don't think so, but they're giving so much energy of
I
it.
know they really are. She's like, "We're so excited for you to come home, Sam."
Yeah.
Yeah, all
And I'm
those
like,
posts, and I'm like, oh, I like that. I like this.
I only like the old lady bodies.
Oh, I'm liking everything this game. I didn't.
Yes.
I don't think I liked enough in the my
Yeah.
first time. So now I'm just like throwing them out.
Oh, I'm mashing that dual sense pad or whatever.
trying to get as much as you can before
see,
the little time expires.
I've been looking out for stuff from us, and I don't know if it obviously doesn't show you everything people have built, but I wish I would see more things that like it would prioritize my friend structures out in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
What's a
Have you
complaint
guys
in the
seen
last game we had too?
Yeah, which it took me all game to find Nick's bike that I used at the very end of the game.
Oh, cool.
No.
I've
is
never
it-
found something that my friends made.
I wonder if
Isn't
I don't
it
have any
that
friends on.
the
PS4.
more likes
Look at that bachelor
you get
lifestyle.
in the game, like for like a structure or like leaving something behind, the more it appears in other people's games. So you just have to get like really lucky
Maybe.
with placement. And
Oh, it's like your
Yeah.
arcane score or your what do you call it in Bloodborne? Your insight level.
Sure,
The higher
yeah.
it goes up, the more stuff you see in the world.
I
There's
think- yeah.
definitely a part of me that just wishes it was as simple as prioritizing people on your friends list.
Yeah, for sure.
I like when you enter your birthday at the beginning and it's like some people in certain age, like certain
July. I wanted to
times.
ask you.
Oh,
about
yeah.
this.
I did
you
this
do that
on my
the day?
birthday. Yeah. And
Did it say
I
happy birthday.
It did. It did say happy birthday. And it also, I thought it was going to be more specific than what it ended up being. Like it just groups you into like talking about signs and whatnot, right?
The movie.
Yeah.
Talking about Mel Gibson's signs.
Interesting.
Swing away.
to get us back on track really quick, we're in chapter 2 at this point, and we don't have too much more to talk about. But once Sam does, at least I guess passively agree to go with Fragile, and you leave your base, we do see her ship the Magellan that shows up. I also
the
don't think
DHV Magellan. Give it its full name because you're gonna get used to hearing it.
GHV?
DHV.
DHV. Also, it hasn't come up, but she's working with. Did we speak about Drawbridge yet? She's working with
Yeah. Drawbridge.
Yeah, it has a mysterious benefactor. We don't know who it is or what
Bezos.
exactly.
Yes, we still haven't quite learned that. But
Soros.
But that's where this chapter ends, is basically seeing the GHV Magellan is funded by
DHV.
DHV.
The VHS Magellan is in the strings. We see it show up, and it's implied that Sam gets on. But one last little detail about the previous cutscene is I've got the video up of chapters that we're in, and one other vision Sam has once he's back in his facility after you do your depressing walk and you through back up from the mountain to your facility, is that he envisions, or he seems to literally see the Lou Ghost BT grow little octopus tentacles that sort of press against the inside of the casing and then disappear back into the sort of like ghost blue. One of the many things in this game that is just inviting many more questions that we just don't have answers to.
Tie-coded.
Maybe it's like a Kingdom Hearts crossover where Ursula is going to come out.
Could it be, Matthew?
Poor unfortunate soul.
It might be a crossover with Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
This is where it happens.
Maybe the baby could do the tentacles normally, like before.
We just never saw it.
We never saw it.
Yeah.
Folks, as we get through
Jack from The Incredibles.
Pretty good.
Yes.
Jack.
Yeah, he wants his cookie num nums.
We got through, the prologue chapters 1 and 2, but as far as
2 hours.
Hey, we're under 2 hours technically for this
Pretty
recording
good.
at this point.
Should feel good, like Charlie. This is luck.
I know,
that
but there's
we're
only
ending
6
this
of us.
quick.
I was like, these are going to blow up.
No way. Not with this content. What the last thing I want to pose to everybody is there a detail that we didn't touch on that you wanted to in this episode? And if not, I would love to start to get into closing thoughts. Charlie, I'll turn to you first. Any details, or I'll open it up to everyone. But Charlie, you can start if you've got one. Any details that you're like, ooh, I want to touch on this?
I think that one of the questions that I had is like, should I become a porter? Should we all become porters in life? It seems like everyone loves you. You are the most important person that anyone has ever met in their entire life. I don't know. It feels like we just
Basically
all feel a lot more appreciation.
I do really love the UPS
Wife
guy.
would get off my back.
Wow.
I do. To be fair, I love the UPS guy that I've known for like 8 years in my neighborhood, who gave me a secret phone number to UPS offices when I had a package that was mysteriously lost. My Nintendo Switch 2 that disappeared. Anybody else have any other details or just like things they want to point out before we head to closing thoughts?
So many of the sounds in this game are very satisfying, and we'll talk a lot about these probably as the game goes on. But like even just like something as simple
He's
as
always nailed sounds, hasn't he?
yeah, like the like sound is great.
Yeah.
The little chirp you get when your social strand service thing has a new notification is great. You'll learn that the sounds from the ship, the DHV Magellan, are really great. And I just am excited for you guys to get to where I am, because I basically I went back to Mexico after proceeding a little bit further, and have 5-starred all the shelters in the area. And if you have time to do so, I highly recommend it.
Cool.
Because there are I'd say significant weapon upgrades that make then the rest of it a little more interesting is what I'll say.
That's something that I kind of, if they did it in the first game, I forgot. But as I have gotten to some 3-star levels with people, I've gotten, not just capacity upgrades for materials, but also improved weapons, which has been...
That was in first game.
Okay, great. I guess it's just a reminder that that's a great incentive to do that stuff if you have the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else, or should we just head to closing thoughts, July?
I'm afraid to say anything from a future episode, so I
Cool.
think that's everything I got to say.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just start
I'm
off.
terrified of spoiling. Sorry.
I don't want to spoil it either, especially
Nick didn't get to talk.
Nick. Please.
I didn't deserve it. It's okay.
Do you have something you'd like to share?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Please.
Ask you, Connor. I think I need to replay because I swear I missed these red mech guys. And I think I probably did just.
You
take
might be a
another
red
way.
mech.
If,
was that worth it?
If you come out of the tar and you're wearing red armor, you're right. You might be a red mech.
That's good.
You ever take a poop so big your mirror turns brown?
Okay.
That's not really the joke structure.
That was Larry the Cable Guy. So I was it's expanded blue collar comedy tour universe.
You ever
Matt.
tater salad?
Actually, yeah.
I don't have any other thoughts, Connor. Thank you.
Well, to close things out, I'll just say, like, I am incredibly excited and so happy to be back here, and just happy to have like a reason to have to play this game every week.
Yes.
And come chat about it with you guys.
You can't fix stupid.
Now that's just a line from
Ron White. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't fix dooms.
There we go.
Get her dooms.
That's good too.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I'm just excited to be back here and so pumped to play more of this game. Matt, closing thoughts as you know, you conclude your first Games Club episode ever and head into the rest of the game.
And Matt, let me just say, you did a fantastic job.
Kind of don't believe
That seemed untrue.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Okay,
We're
now
so happy to have you here, Matt.
You're
Fan
rated on a bit
favorite.
thick with 2 C's, it seems. I'd say final thoughts. I'm a bit ahead, so I don't want to spoil too much. I do think the game is extremely good, and something that I've been comparing it to, as far as sequels go so far, is
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
Tobey Maguire movie.
To Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, actually, where it's like a little bit more. It's more. There's more to do, and it's more fun. And I just think it kind of just starts you off in a obviously in a completely tragic way story wise, but the gameplay is a little bit more fun and refined, and so I think they just I don't know. I think this has the potential so far to be an all timer. I think.
Incredible.
What it reminds me a little of is Death Stranding.
Just a hair.
Just a hair.
Nick, any final thoughts for you?
Again?
I was asking for. I don't know why I'm asking this.
And Nick,
twice.
by the way, I just want to say you did an amazing job.
Thank you for the sincere compliment. It's been a pleasure to be on every Games Club. All I can say is I'm excited to play more of this game. I did not play ahead. It was a challenge. I think the episode 3 cutscene just starts, and I kind of stopped myself because I didn't want to go too deep, because I knew that, like the last game, I think it was episode 3 of the last game where I really got hooked into the gameplay loop of it. So I'm excited. I'm feeling good. Let's get her done.
Let's get her done. Well, folks, why don't we close out with a round of plugs? Charlie, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, you can listen to my podcast, Baywatch Watch, where Zach Olson and I are recapping every episode of Baywatch. You can also follow me on social media at Mihelicopter. Thank you.
Love it. July Diaz.
Yeah, when you're doing some of the deliveries in the game that are taking about like 30 minutes or so, put on a podcast, listen to the Roast of Mario, Roast of Sonic, Roast of Donkey Kong episodes of Video Games, a Comedy Show. Those are just good episodes I have nothing to do with. Just check those out. And yeah, that's it.
Killer. Nick Costanza.
Twitch.tv/Nick Costanza, Nick Costanza on YouTube. I'm going to be streaming Marvel Rivals at some point. Jean Grey is coming out in the new update. Excited for that. Wish it was Blade, but we'll see him in a month. So keep an eye out, folks.
All
Jim
right.
Brown.
The newcomer, Matt Apodaca. What do you want to plug, buddy?
Nothing crazy. I guess there's social media, Matt Apodaca, uh, Get Played, where you can hear me talk about this video game and other video games as well every week. Thanks for having me. Just excited to dig into this with you guys.
Yeah, it's fun to have you. So it was great having Charlie's just like a regular now after getting him on the Control Games Club, and
Hell
we had
yeah.
Patrick last time. It's so fun having you this time. As far as me, you can follow me also at Connor McCabe on Blue Sky if you want. Check out my podcast, Call Me by Your Game, wherever you get your podcasts. As for the radio, Super NPC, the network rather, Super NPC Radio. You can also follow us on Twitch, YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram. This episode is going to be on a bunch of our free feeds as well as it airs on the Super NPC Games Club feed as well as on our YouTube channel. But give us a follow there. If again, listen to our free feed if you'd like to get a feel for our Games Club series of the past. And then if you're listening on Patreon right now, thank you. And if you're not, consider checking us out there. This is at the DJ Toad tier. We have a brand new series that's going on every single quarter. But that's really it. I'm so excited for next week where we're at least covering on episode 2 of this Games Club, at least episode 3, possibly episode 4. We're going to feel that out as we get closer to the recording date. But thank you so much for listening to episode 1 of the Death Stranding 2 on the Beach Games Club. We'll see you on the next one.